In a quaint town carved from shadows, tales of an ancient relic whispered among the residents, a surreal object known only as the Angel Engine. Legend claimed that those who dared to turn its intricate gears would unleash the forces of a forsaken realm, one that thrived on the fears and regrets hidden deep within the soul. Sally, a curious teenager burdened with nightmares and a reputation for her strange demeanor, found herself drawn to the sordid history of the engine. She remembered her childhood friend, Larry, sharing stories of its power while they were huddled in the dim light of an abandoned playground. The stories ignited something deep within her, an insatiable need to know. Out of fear or courage, she couldn't tell, but the night was thick with fog, wrapping the town in a veil of secrecy as she ventured forth to unearth the truth. In the creaking library that smelled of old books and dust, Sally discovered a faded manuscript, its pages fragile and worn, details of the engine's past scrawled in jagged handwriting. The words trembled under the faint flicker of her flashlight, detailing the lives shattered in its wake. Each tink of the machine promised a joy unparalleled, yet every turn of the gear felt like a heartbeat closer to oblivion. Friends who had encountered the artifact vanished, leaving behind nothing but shadows and whispers echoing in the dark. After many sleepless nights, alongside Larry and their friend Todd, Sally resolved to summon the engine's power, hoping to confront her deepest fears and reclaim control over her life. Under the pale glow of the moon, the trio gathered in a forgotten cemetery where the haunting relic lay hidden in the depths of the earth. With trepidation, they unearthed the machinery. The Angel Engine, intricate and remote, glimmered silver in the moonlight, adorned with symbols that danced like phantoms. Heart racing, Sally stepped forward. "We have to turn it together," she urged, her voice quivering. But a spark of determination ignited within her. Uncertain nods answered her. As the handle moved beneath their hands, an eerie hum resonated from the engine, vibrating through the ground like ripples in dark water. The air thickened. Colors intensified, shadows deepened, and the world warped. It felt as if another realm crept alongside theirs, a place alive with both horrible truths and unspeakable horrors. They stood, suspended between dimensions, pulled into a tremulous embrace of their own worst memories. Larry gasped, clutching his head as visions assaulted him, of betrayal, of fleeting childhood, of a fear he had buried for years. Todd staggered, haunted by faces he once loved, twisted in grief and rage. Sally felt a surge of darkness explode within her, a rush of shadows clawing at her mind, whispering secrets that no one should hear. But in the sweep of chaos and despair, the realization dawned. They were not meant to control the engine. They were its prey. The night crackled with energy as the gears spun faster, voices amalgamating into a chorus of laughter and wails, drawing from their anguish. The town blinked out of existence, shimmering like the fading sunlight over rippling water. In that void, Sally glimpsed her own reflection, filled with monstrous eyes, ancient and knowing, circling her endlessly. Then, silence. The engine halted, and a stillness enveloped the air once more. Sally opened her eyes, breathless, realizing she was alone. The cemetery stood as it always had, and the moon shone brightly overhead. But the world felt irrevocably different. Sally wandered back into town, the streets exuding a warped familiarity. Yet something was off. Shadows shifted too quickly. Faces whispered without sound. Her friends, where were they? Panic gripped her heart until she spotted someone, a figure in a darkened alley. "Larry?" she called, but the shadow recoiled, its face twisting into something grotesque. Fleeing, she raced toward her home, each footstep echoing with dread. In the reflection of a storefront, she glimpsed the truth. Her own eyes glowed crimson, a flicker of the entity now entwined with her soul, its laughter rustling through the air, mingling with her own. Each beat of her heart, a reminder that the engine was never really gone. As she retreated into her room, the well-worn floor creaked beneath her, and in the corner, where darkness clung to the walls, the shadows bloomed with life. A whisper, soft yet insistent, wrapped around her. "Join us." And the night enveloped Sally's face, its hold tightening, the dread of the angel engine reverberating within her. The fear had only just begun, and her reflection offered no escape. The town remained, the engine persisted, and fate awaited her next move in the shadows. As the shadows encroached, coiling and whispering secrets meant for unsuspecting ears, the air grew heavy with a scent reminiscent of lost memories, a sweet decay that filled Sally's lungs. Her heart raced, thumping against the cage of her ribs, a frantic rhythm that harmonized with the whispers. She was caught in a delicate web, spun from the very fabric of fear she had sought to confront. "Join us," the voice urged again, a melody of seduction and despair. She could see them now, the ethereal figures of those who had once been, their faces flickering between recognition and torment. Todd and Larry, entangled in the shadow, their features distorted by anguish, their eyes dark pools of terror. "Help us!" Todd's voice emerged clearer amidst the murmur, but it twisted with a sharp desperation. "Sally, we're trapped! The engine—" Suddenly, the ground beneath her trembled, the faint rumble of the machine echoing somewhere deep, somewhere she knew she could never go again. "You awakened us," a figure emerged, predatory and alluring. The silhouette shifted, melding with disparate shadows until it formed into a hauntingly familiar woman, cloaked in midnight, a manifestation of the engine's twisted power. It was a visage both beautiful and horrifying, stitched together by the tattered remnants of countless lost souls. "You crave understanding," she purred, each word dripping with malice. "But the truth is a bitter fruit to consume. Your friends' cries echo from beyond. They are part of this world now, just as you will be." "No," Sally gasped, backing away instinctively, the suffocating veil of despair closing in. Yet, no matter how she turned, the darkness loomed, whispering, enticing. She could feel it coiling around her, urging her to submit, to surrender to the roiling sea of shadows. Suddenly, a spark surged within her chest, a flicker of defiance ignited by her lingering humanity. Sally concentrated deeply, forcing herself to recall their laughter during the summer, the warmth of friendship they once shared, before the weight of secrets had wrapped them in fear. "I won't let you take them!" she shouted, each word infused with the strength born from their memories. In that moment of clarity, she felt it, a connection to the lost echoes of those who had been consumed, a thread of light woven through the fabric of darkness. The figures writhed, recoiling from the warmth she exuded, the shadows shrinking away from her resolve. "Not today," she declared. With a deafening roar, the shadows screamed as they were pulled toward the vicinity of the dormant engine, its gears rattling to life once more, awakened by her fierce determination. The warmth surged as she reached for her friends, feeling with each breath the power of their bond, their collective will splintering the shadows that sought to engulf them. "Sally!" Larry's voice broke through the chaos. "We're with you!" Determined, she stepped forward, her hand outstretched toward the shadows that twisted around them. The power of the collective surged in a blinding light, melting away the darkness, unraveling the tendrils of the engine's grip. The figures of Todd and Larry crystallized from the shadows, their faces returning to the familiar innocence she remembered, touched by the light of their shared spirit. With a final surge, the shadows screamed one last time, a wail of loss that echoed through the night's darkened expanse. Sally felt a shift, an abrupt jerk that pulled all three of them away from the cusp of despair. They landed heavily upon the cool earth of the cemetery, the angel engine now dormant before them, an ominous relic silenced. Breathless, Sally and her friends clutched each other, relief flooding their hearts. They had wrested themselves free, hadn't they? But as Sally turned to face the town, her heart sank. The fog hung thicker than before, thick with unease and familiarity. Echoes of the shadows still whispered, shadows that danced and flitted at the edges of her vision, teasing her senses. Are we really free? Todd voiced her unspoken thoughts, scanning the harrowing landscape of their town that felt alive with dread. Sally felt that creeping anxiety rear its head once more, the sensation of dark eyes observing them from the alleyways, the whimpers of those who had once turned the gears, now reduced to mere observers in the bleak theater of the night. The secrets the town housed felt heavier, their grip ever tighter. Finally, Sally's gaze flickered beneath the moonlight to the engine, once a relic of torment, now a haunting reminder of their encounter. "We can't let it happen again," she whispered resolutely. "We have to bury it, to seal it away." But as her voice trailed off, the ground shuddered beneath them anew. The town groaned, as though it were awakening, shifting with a life of its own. Shadows morphed into vague forms, sliding closer, drifting ever nearer with maddening whispers. The relic of their own making, the true horror began to dawn. The engine was never meant to be left behind. With hearts heavy with the weight of an insatiable hunger, they realized that the darkness would always remain, entwined with them. Lurking in the corners of their minds, it whispered, "Join us," invitingly. Together, they stood against the night, knowing they were forever tethered to that unfathomable realm, the grip of the angel engine binding them in ways they had yet to understand. And as the fog swallowed the town once more, a new cycle began. Beneath the gaze of the moon, a new generation awaited the call of the relic, and the engine's promise still lingering, forever calling them into the shadows.